Well, this was going to be the only video for today, but someone decided to drop today as well, so I'm going to have to rush this one a little bit, and I apologize, but it's because there's something else that came out today that I really need to talk about. I'll show a picture of it at the end. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to the Station for anything and animation, including TVs and movies as well. I'm your host, Justin Small. Welcome to My Hero Academia, Episode 10, Encounter with the Unknown. Here's the summary. Let's dive in. You know how it works by now. Enjoy. Villains appear in the plaza of the USJ, led by three mysterious villains. One of them notices that All Might is not among the class. He and colleague review that All Might was supposed to be teaching this class, according to a schedule procured from the previous day. Eraserhead recognizes the villains are truly the recent UA intruders. One of the villains, Shigaraki, is disappointed that All Might is absent. He ponders that the symbol of peace will arrive after they've murdered all the students. Eraserhead takes charge, ordering 13 to evacuate the students and contact UA. Midoriya has concerns about Aizawa fighting against the villains, but Eraserhead reassures him and leaps into battle. A firing squad sets their sights on Eraserhead, but he uses his quirk to cancel each of theirs out and knocks them out using his capture weapon, the scarf around his neck. The villains quickly recognize him as the pro-hero Eraserhead and reveal his quirk, before a mutant-type quirk using villain confronts him. The villain knows Eraserhead's quirk can't cancel out his own and attacks. Eraserhead, though, easily counters him by keeping the villain at a distance using the capturing weapon. Meanwhile, Midoriya realizes he underestimated his teacher as Ida tells his surprised friend to move as they follow 13 in Class 1A in an attempt to evacuate. But that's when the villain Kurogiri stops them and uses his warping quirk. He introduces himself as a member of the League of Villains and discloses that their goal is to kill All Might. Bakugo and Kirishima hastily attack him, but to no avail. Before 13 can use her quirk on him, Kurogiri separates the class by warping them into different various simulation zones. Midoriya is transported underwater in the shipwreck zone. A shark-like villain attempts to devour him, but he is sent drowning by a kick from Asui. From dispatching the villain, Asui uses her tongue to throw Midoriya on the ship and follows close behind with Mineta and Tao. They talk about their concerns regarding the villain's plan to kill All Might. Midoriya proclaims that it's the class's job to be heroes and protect All Might. Meanwhile, Todoroki, Aijiro, and Bakugo, and several other members of Class 1A fight back against the villains after being transported into their own respective simulation zones. At UA, in the nurse's office, All Might tries to contact 13 and Aizawa, but is unable to. All Might wants to go to the USJ in hero form soon, but Principal Nezu keeps him occupied. Nezu believes All Might needs to be a more responsible teacher and lectures him for exhausting himself with hero work. Back at USJ, 13 outlines that Ida needs to run back to the school for help because they are unable to call for help from the USJ. Tenya is hesitant, believing that leaving his classmates behind is disgraceful. His classmates restore his confidence and encourage him to use his quirk to save others as rescue training was intended. Kurogiri overhears 13's plan and tries to intervene, but the space hero uses her quirk to suck him into a black hole. Villains have Midoriya, Minoru, and Asui ship surrounded, but they refuse to board it. While Midoriya strategises, Mineta panics and fears the worst. Midoriya recognizes that the villains don't have any information about the students' quirks and are being cautious. Using information from his peers on their quirks, Midoriya creates a plan. A villain uses his water manipulation quirk to strike the ship and break it into pieces. But before the ship sinks, Midoriya enacts his plan. He jumps off the ship and uses Delaware Smash on the surface of the water to make it spread out and collect rapidly back together. The converged water trap the villains a vortex mixed with Mineta's sticky spears, which keeps them stuck to each other. With the villains defeated, Asui uses her tongue to grab her comrades and escape the shipwreck zone. And that's pretty much the episodes, just part one of this big battle against these villains in the USJ, and it is freaking awesome. And one thing I forgot to point out, and I don't know if it happens here or the next episode, 13 gets her entire back shredded open. She doesn't die, but it's still pretty gruesome and pretty violent, so. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode in a nutshell. It's a fun episode, it's back to action, and it's the first part of a huge battle that's going to take place over these final few episodes of Season 1, so. Yep, pretty much nothing left to say. Final verdict for this episode, easy 9 out of 10. Highly recommend checking this one out. Now, if you excuse me, I got a little, something to take care of. Yeah, that. See you next time for that, and for the rest of you that don't care, see you next time for episode 11 of My Hero Academia, titled Game Over.
We cannot take it anymore. The time is coming to go. So prepare to fight. We're ready for this. I really hope that I'm ready for this.